welcome to a really quick layout. Now this one, I remember I said if you're, well, hang on first. If you're new to my channel, I made the commitment the other day that I will do some more pages. I'm not big on Valentine's Day. My husband and I aren't like that, but I promised that I would do some more Valentine-esque kind of layouts. So what I decided to do was use up my scraps. Now, in using up my scraps, I had this piece from the other day that I added just splatters of some leftover gold that I had mixed up. Now, what you're seeing me do there, and I'm doing this on camera for a reason because I had someone ask me about it the other day, and I wanted to show how easy it is to get your mica powders to glue, to stick, to not come off your page if you want to use them in a really illuminating way like I'm doing here. So you can see me putting in the tiniest bit of gum arabic. I've just laid it down on its side so you can see it. Now you add that, a tiny bit of mica powder, a little bit of water, and boom bada bing, there it is. All you have to do, this particular application, I'm just flicking it on there because I want that sort of splattered look. And that's it. Once this dries, and I show you right at the very end, and you can speed the drying process up, which I do with my heat gun, and I can tell you now, or my heat tool, whatever you call it, and it does not come off. Okay, it stays. I had the same issue. I thought if I bought the mica powders, then how do I get them to stick? I didn't know if you could just paint them on. I didn't really know anything about them when I bought them. But it's a game changer if you're looking to, if you want these bright gold, bright metallic colors on your layouts, but you don't want to spend a small fortune. I urge you to invest. Just make the investment. I bought these from Crafts Online, and they are, they're an Australian company. Mine are the Poppycraft brand, and they are, you can see here, they're super pigmented. It doesn't matter if you put them on white or black or any other in between. It literally, it gives you all the bling that you want, and it's dirt cheap. I got, I think in my set, I think there's 36 or something like that, and it was $40 something. They're always having them on sale. If you're an Aussie or a Kiwi and you want to know about it, they're quite often on sale. I'm sure in America, you guys have, you know, maybe, I don't know if your regular stores, I'm guessing scrapbook.com would have them. And they're just so versatile. You can do so much with them. Once I learned that the secret was gum arabic, it was a game changer. Once I learned that, it was, I can literally make paint with these things. And it goes on and it's clear. You can make it as thick as you want. You can make it as thin as you want. You can mix it with a bit of the gum arabic. You can mix it with all different things. So I'm going to stop harping on about it. But the main reason I wanted to get that out there is because we all have scraps, right? This particular piece, I flicked gold all over. I gutted a layout from a couple of days ago, and I was using the mica powders on it, and I was using the gold. Anyway, the bit that I gutted, I thought, oh, I'll just flick the rest of this on there and I might come back to it another day. Well, I want to use my scraps. Using your scraps doesn't necessarily mean it has to look exactly the same. It was a piece of black with some gold on it. So because this is a layout for my husband, and ever so perfectly, Forever Yours is something that I've always said to my husband, and it's something that we have said right from the very beginning of our relationship. So this cut file was perfect for a photo of my husband. So hence I went ahead and I cut out the cut file. Now that I took out of a, you know, that's not a scrap obviously, but everything else on this layout is just using up scraps. So I've kept it super simple because I've made it very bright with the mica powders. So there's no expensive inks or any extra bits and pieces on here. It's simply the cut file and keeping it simple, because that's what my husband is. He likes things simple. He likes things black and white. That's what he likes. So I figured that's what this layout needs. It just needs to be nice and simple. Now, this is a photo I took of my husband what feels like a million years ago. I honestly, to tell you truthfully, I think this photo was taken when our youngest was, I think she was 2, maybe 3. And yeah, we went and had a family day out at the farm. So see what I'm doing here? You can see the scraps that I've got. That's what I've got left. Now, I did sort of back myself into a corner with this because I created the splatters. I didn't really want to make up more. So I ended up cutting my scraps down so that I could use them to create a border, because you know I love a good border. Now, when it comes to my layouts, if you're new to my channel, I like to run with simplicity. I don't like a lot of clutter on my pages. So my layouts, I like to make them creative, and I try and think of my supplies slightly differently, use them in a different way. Now, this is obviously just using up scraps, but whenever I do a layout, the one thing that I think allows your page to pop when you put it into your album or your scrapbook, whatever you want to call it. Now, I find that the border, super helpful. I have been going through a border phase now for over 12 months, and it is not looking like it's going to stop anytime soon. Quite often as scrapbookers, we start doing something and then, we stop doing it. So I remember, because I've been doing this for 20 plus years, I remember years ago we used to always cut our photos into shapes. So we do love heart photos, we do circle photos, diamonds, all that sort of thing. Well, I am very proud to say that I have left that behind, although I was thinking of doing a flashback. Let me know if it's something you'd be interested in. Seeing me create layouts using older techniques that we just don't do anymore, or you've evolved, you may actually still do them because you might be a brand new scrapbooker and you might find them really interesting, and I don't do them. So let me know if that's something that you guys would be interested in. Just leave a comment below and I will always get back to you. It may be by the end of the day, and usually that's when I try and get back to everybody on YouTube. When I'm sitting down and I'm just enjoying my family time, my kids have gone to bed, that's usually when I sit down and do all my responses to everybody. And that way I know I'm not taking away from my crafty time, which is, pretty, I will draw your attention to this one. So you know how I made up the gum arabic, added the mica powder to it, a little bit of water, mixed it all together. That's what's in this little pot. Now here's the secret. If you use boiled water or distilled water, you can actually create this and then leave it in a little pot and it dries out. If you've ever used shimmers or anything like that, so this pot here that I've just made up, I've only made that up this morning, of the gold, I have that sitting on my desk all the time. Now, I do have the lid set on it pretty tight at the moment, but I will release it before I leave the room. But I leave the lid tight when I'm working in here so I don't accidentally spill it. So you can actually create these mica powders, put them into one of those little containers. Those containers, guys, I get them from Amazon AU. They are pennies. They really are. They don't cost very much at all. And they've got a lid and they're fantastic. I've actually changed my mind when it comes to how I'm storing my distressed watercolor pencil shavings. That's actually how I'm going to store them from now on, because I feel like that way I've got my little pot there. I can either use it to mix with another medium, I can create a watercolor with it, I can do anything with it while it's still in that form. And obviously it's pencil shavings, it's not going to go off, so it can sit in that container for however long you want. So these containers are super, super handy. Now I've just traced a couple of the hearts. Now these hearts, you can tell they are out of the centerpiece of this cut file. I coloured them with the mica powder that I rehydrated, because that's what happens when you sit them in these little pots. They sort of dehydrate and they go hard, almost like a watercolor. And all you have to do is give them a light spritz and they come alive again. It is so handy. I'm not even kidding. And it saves you a fortune, because the amount of little pots you can make up out of one of those bottles, game changing. Please like and subscribe before you leave. That's my reminder that I put up there, so I remember to say it. I have given up saying my shameless plug, because I think it's better if I just put a little blip up like that. You guys can see it. If you guys are new to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe, like, leave me a comment. I love all of that side of the social media side of it. I love learning what you guys do. I put up a thing on Facebook today, and in the Facebook group, which is linked in the description below, come on over. It's a small group at the moment, but everyone's really helpful and everyone's really positive. One of the questions I put up today, I call them quickies. So a quickie question that I popped up was, what product have you used or bought that you were really disappointed with? You were disappointed with the result. I really want to know that, because the reason why I asked that question is I may have the same product that you have, and I may be able to show you a different way of using it. That way your supply is not getting wasted. You might give it a go a different way. This idea came to my head when I used alcohol inks on acetate earlier in the week, and I didn't realize that no one had ever done that before. I didn't realize that. So a lot of people have said to me that they've never seen that before. And that's what I do here on CWK Scrapbooking. I play, and I love to play. I love to see what I can create. Some layouts I love more than others, and sometimes things work and sometimes they don't. But it's okay. I leave it in there because we're all human. We all make mistakes. We all do things that are not quite how we thought they'd work out in our head. But so this particular layout, it's taking shape. I'm just going around my hearts just to give them a bit of definition so they pop off the top of the white page. And I'm just using my black 0.7mm Posca black pen, and I'm loving, like, I'm not even kidding, I'm loving how this turned out. Normally I would do the letters and make them pop off, like sit them up, or I'd back the letters and I'd back things in different colors and whatever. But because of how this paper looked, you could use, if you don't have mixed media and you don't like mixed media, you could use any paper to do that. You could purchase yourself, I know I've got from Paper Rose Studios, I have, what's it called? Oh dear. Okay, everything just fell. In case you didn't hear that. I'm reaching for it, and do you think it's, okay, it's gone. It's a Paper Rose Studio, and it's got splatters like this. There's also another, I'm doing the 6x6 paper pad smash at the moment, and Smash a Pad series, and that one, I've got that 6x6 paper pad from Crazy Craft Obsession. Their link will be below. If you do use that link at any point, it is an affiliate link, and yes, I do get a slight kickback from that. So but it takes you to the store, and they have got a stack of different things on there that are amazing, and they're a small business, small Aussie business, and you know, we need to support small local businesses that, you know, they need a little bit of a boost here and there. So I think I'm just about done on my layout. It's simple. It has to be simple because that is what if I put flowers all over this, it would not be true to my husband. Like that's, you know how you have to tell your story, and you tell your story through your creative process. And, you know, if you're doing school, you use pencils and crayons and computers and all that sort of stuff. If you're doing a wedding, you use all the bells and the tiz and whatever. This particular layout, I'm scrapbooking my husband. So you use things that remind you of your husband. So there you go, guys. That is my layout. Now, I think I did consider doing some gold splatters on it, but I stopped. I just did some gold dots with my gold Posca paint pen, and this is the close-up for you guys. As I said earlier, if you haven't liked and subscribed, I would love to have you jump on board. I pop up 6 videos a week. This is my job. This is what I do. So please follow, share, invite your friends over to check out some of my Aussie style chitty chat scrapbooking. And yeah, pretty much that's about it. Actually, I do zoom in just a little bit more just to show you how shiny this mica powder really is. Like, check it out. That is just awesome. Do you remember the Heidi Swap, what was it? Heidi Swap Gold Shimmer Shine or whatever it was called. I never actually bought any, but I always loved it. And see, I'm rubbing my hand on it. Nothing comes off. Absolutely nothing comes off. It stays on there. That's the gum Arabic. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. Chat to you soon. Bye for now.